Welcome to Backstage Pass, your all-access pass to everything Wake Up. And I am talking with Lisa Nichols, one of the top transformational leaders in the world who has impacted the lives of millions of people across the globe. And my life happens to be one of them, Lisa.
Thank you.
It's such a pleasure and honor to be talking with you today.
I'm excited to be here with you.
Oh, really, thank you. I wanted to share with you my story, which happened about at least 7, maybe 8 years ago when I was going through my second divorce. And I still remember the day. It was heartbreaking for me. I was in one of the deepest, darkest places. I hadn't really connected with self-growth and spirituality at that time. And I had heard about you and that there was going to be a talk. This was in Dallas, Texas. And you had come to do one of your talks and was in a church. And I thought, you know, I want to go listen to this person. Maybe I'll hear something positive. And I still remember that as I was driving, the weather was really bad. There was a storm. So I was very late to the talk. And by the time I got there, I almost did not come inside because I thought, this is over already. I need to go home. And then when I walked in, they said, no, she's still talking, so you might want to go in. And what happened next was truly a moment which I will never forget in my whole entire life. Because I walked in and you were talking and the talk was actually over and you said, this part of the talk I usually only do for someone that's in the audience that needs to hear this message. And I still get choked.
Right when you walked in.
Right when I walked in. And you started talking and everything you said applied directly to me. And I started bawling.
You
right
showed up
there.
for your part.
I showed up for my part, but had it not been for that message coming from you, knowing that, I mean, you were my connection to God that day. Very clearly, I understood that He was there, He loved me, He saw what I was going through. I mean, your words were
alone.
Exactly what I needed
alone.
to hear. Yeah, and I ended up just crying. I almost fell to the floor. One of the wonderful people there helped me clean up my face, and I bought your book right there and then you gave me a big hug. You probably don't remember because it was a long time ago, and I was a mess. So if you did remember me, you would remember me as you know, something that had the cat dragged
in transition.
Yes.
In transition.
So you changed my life. It really started to change from that day onwards.
Well, I have to say that thank you for that acknowledgement. But you had to get dressed. You had to get in the car.
Yes.
You had to fight the bad weather. You had to choose, even though I'm at the end of the message, I'll still walk in. So we, from the very beginning, were on a team.
Yes.
And you had to do your part so that when I did my part, that you can reap the benefits. And then you had to take action with what I gave you. See, information and inspiration is just that. It's information and inspiration. It's what you do with it that becomes transformational. So if you were a mess then, looking at you now, sister, it says that you've been committed to action ever since.
I have been.
So congratulations on being willing to be your own rescue.
Well, and like I said, I owe a lot of that to you and people like you that have reached out with this message, because you know, when I read your book, No Matter What, I
Which
still
is
love
spicy.
that book.
It's very spicy. I tell people,
it's
get a glass of water or something else, because that book is, I call it straight no chaser. I figured you wanted to know the truth.
Yes, and it is. And you know what happens is we connect so deeply with it because it's the truth. And I could see myself in you so many times during that book. And you made no excuses for who you were. You were who you were, and you had made mistakes, and some of them were, you know, something
catastrophic.
That
Some were catastrophic and some were mild, and yeah, it was.
But here you were.
Full transparency.
Yes, full transparency, which is so important because a lot of people that are in that position where life is not working for them, they look at people like you and think, she's got it all figured out. I can never be like her. Right? But when you are so transparent and open and you talk about where you had been, it's fabulous. It's
well, can I tell you, I was really afraid to write that book because I'd already been on Oprah, I'd already been on Larry King, I'd already been called an expert.
You were already a celebrity.
I was already a celebrity. People already recognized me in the grocery store. And yet I knew that if I didn't show you what it looked like in my valley and how I got myself to the valley, to the darkest hour, and how ding-dong of a moments I had, then standing on a mountaintop didn't mean anything, because you might think I was helicopter landed there, when in fact I crawled, I walked, I ran, I soared like anyone else. And so I'm currently writing my next book called Abundance Now. And it's the book that talks about going from public assistance to going public.
Love it.
And it's the journey after chapter 10 of No Matter What. Now that I'm standing, what do I do with my stand? How do I make my stand into a run, my run into a soar, my soar into something that leaves a legacy? And so it's not over yet. You know, there's no arrival for me. There's no arrival. I'm figuring out how to do it now as a single mom of an adult child, you know, and how to do it now while experiencing love. You know, how am I a CEO and a girlfriend? You know, how do I travel the world and, you know, let my man make decisions? You know? So I'm learning this whole new level. You know, how do I release the unwanted weight so that God can use my body as an instrument to live out my life's purpose? How can I release the unwanted weight and not use it, not mask it, not cover it up? So I'm in another part of the journey that I plan to be very transparent with as well.
And I can't wait. I can't wait to read that book.
Abundance Now. It's juicy.
Abundance Now.
Spicy.
And when is it coming out? When is it
it's due to come out September.
Cool.
So we'll, and I'm going to do an Abundance Now gathering where everyone who's about that conversation will come together and have just a necessary, spicy, transparent, juicy,
beautiful,
unapologetic conversation.
I can't wait, because knowing you, it's going to be an amazing.
You know that.
I know
that, right?
I know
and the
it
experience.
will be juicy and yummy.
And we're tribes. We want to come together. You want to find your unicorn where you can put on your unicorn, I can put on mine, and say we're different. We've always been different. And I'm going to get knocked down, but I'm not going to count my knockdowns. I'm going to count my get-ups.
I love that.
Beautiful.
You know?
And that's what you did.
That's
and
what
that's what I did. And that's
yes.
what we did. And that's what we're encouraging people to do is listen, things are going don't call for something to hit you, but be prepared if something should. That whatever that thing is that stops you, it's a speed bump, not a stop sign. It's just a speed bump. Each one of your marriages and the divorce, there were speed bumps. There weren't stop signs. And then hold on to someone that can be your oxygen in the moment. I was, that book was, that message was your oxygen in the moment, so you can go, okay, beautiful. I got enough breath. I can keep going. So anyway.
Beautiful. No, I love that.
I love this conversation.
I love that whole message. I love everything that you're saying, because I resonate with it so deeply. That's how I've been living my life since then. But one of the things that I would love for you to talk on is perfection. So many of us won't take the next step for whatever change has come or an opportunity that has showed up, because we're not perfect yet. So we won't take the step until we're perfect. What would you say to that?
So perfection is a myth. It's a myth. The pursuit of perfection just helps you get to a better form of imperfection. That it's not in my perfection that I touched you. It's in my imperfection that I touched your soul.
That's so true.
It's not in my perfection that I inspired you to keep going. It's in my imperfection. It's in me being an ordinary woman choosing to make one more extraordinary decision. It's not in the perfection. Perfection is a myth. And even the people who talk about it aren't perfect. They just want you to get perfect so you can show them how to get there. But it doesn't exist. And most people, no, all people, won't be able to relate to you if you're perfect. And I say this, and I don't mean to impose my belief systems on you, but I remember when I was on my way to Oprah and I was afraid and I was crying on the phone with a friend of mine, and he started praying for me. And in his prayer, he said, God, thank you for sending your imperfect child to help your imperfect children. And in that moment, I realized, oh, I'm perfect for this assignment. And
You're
so
perfectly imperfect.
I'm perfectly imperfect, and it's in my imperfection that I'll liberate another imperfect sister or brother.
That is
and they'll stand in their greatness, and you'll fall. You'll fall. And then you'll remind yourself, oh, that's what imperfect people do. And then you'll get up, and it's in your get up. It's in the get up, not the stand up, but it's in the get back up that you'll inspire someone else.
Beautiful. I just love it. I love talking to you. We can talk for hours. No, actually, we can talk for days.
Days.
I can. I can listen to you for days.
Amen.
But I know we're short on time, and it has just been such a pleasure, such an honor to be
me.
able to share this space with you.
Thank you.
And everything you do. Thank you for who you are.
Thank you for receiving me. Thank you for joining me in the journey.
Absolutely. Please tell our viewers how they can connect with your work deeper, how they can learn more about you and what you do.
Yes. The easiest way, and the way that when I go on television, people say, how can I touch you? Go to coachwithlisanichols.com. Coachwithlisanichols.com, and let me pour into you, no charge. Let me give you 10 days of how to turn your life into breathtaking.
Lovely. Thank you so much. And remember, this is a perfect opportunity for you to learn from one of the masters in transformation and wake up. Thank you so much. Beautiful. Love it.